So family, a federal judge has urged Congress and the U.S. Supreme Court to abolish qualified immunity. So let's get deeper into this story. And so we find out that Guido Calabrese, who is a senior judge on the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals and a former dean of the Yale Law School, says that qualified immunity is misbegotten and misguided and should go. He is making that argument to SCOTUS and also to Congress. And he's saying that he will abide by it because he's bound to it, but he strongly disagrees with it. And this judge is saying that qualified immunity is largely irrelevant to the officer's individual financial liability because officers rarely pay anything. And so the judge cited an extensive survey by the UCLA law professor Joanna Schwartz, who found that 99.59% of civil rights cases, officers didn't have to pay a dime in damages. And given all those facts, Judge Calabrese is arguing that a long recognized better solution is to formally make the employer the defendant and the only one who pays. So basically, if the person is being sued is a police officer, then it should be that police officer or that department who pays for the lawsuit or the settlement. It should not be the taxpayers. We, the taxpayers, have been paying for these police misconduct settlements and all the misconduct that these officers engage in. Whenever they get sued, guess what? It's not them who pays. It's us, the taxpayer. And that's not fair. And I also like what this judge says here. He says that the employer is better positioned to prevent future misconduct and mistakes and to ensure violations of constitutional rights do not go uncompensated. So basically, if you take away qualified immunity, take that away, and you give an actual incentive for a police department, sheriff's department, or whatever law enforcement agency to actually make sure their people obey the law and don't violate anyone's rights. And besides, the employer liability is the rule in almost every other area of tort law. Everyone knows this. And like, for example, you have New Mexico, who banned qualified immunity for state constitutional claims and squarely placed the burden of paying out claims on the government employer. That is a good first step. It needs to happen in all 50 states. Abolish qualified immunity for the sake of the American people.